Hello, everyone. Welcome inside the Red Earth Production Studios for another edition of YBMcast Perspectives. We have today with us Jim Fetsch, who is the president of the Greater St. Louis Association of Umpires. Jim, welcome to the show. We appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you, Brian. I appreciate the invitation.
And one of our goals here with this particular show is bringing perspective to things. And I think it's something that we really need in our youth sports across the board is a little bit of perspective when it comes to dealing with officials, correct?
Correct. Yes, absolutely.
So, Jim, how long have you been president there at the GSL, or even a member? What's your history with the GSL?
Well, I started in 1991. Umpired CYC baseball when I was a child. For the lack of financial reasons, I had a job and needed a part-time job, and I inquired with the Greater St. Louis Association of Umpires in 91. And am now a 30-plus year member, and this is my second year as the president of the association.
So tell us a little bit about the Greater St. Louis Umpire Association. What do people need to know? What is it about?
Well, first of all, people need to realize that we've been calling strikes since 1939. Not me, but I am one of the. I'm one of the people that have continued on this association. It's a proud organization. It's probably the premier umpires association in the Midwest. That's the way I feel. I'm biased. So I started in '91 and was tutored along by the veterans, and now I am one of those. And I'm trying to pass along what I know and to the younger officials and to continue on down the line.
There you go. It's all we can really do, right?
That's right. Yep.
So, we talk about officiating baseball. So what areas, from what age groups does the GSL, do they do youth, high school, college? What do you guys do?
Basically, our association is based on high school age levels, even though within the past few years we have gone into the junior high. That's basically for our younger umpires to get accustomed to the mechanics, the rules of baseball. But we also have a couple men's league, the St. Louis Forever Baseball League and the Men's Senior Baseball League we do during the summer. Those have already started this year. And that goes from 18 and over to 65 and older.
Yeah, I've umpired. I think 53 and older a few games with that. That was a lot of fun. Those guys are a lot of fun.
They are a lot of fun. I mean, how can you not have fun with the guys that really should be sitting on the couch watching baseball?
I did. There's a guy trying to stretch a shot into a triple. I mean, you don't think of your body. He's hustling, pulled a hamstring.
Yes,
it wasn't funny.
People don't realize, right? People don't realize how long a base path is. It's 30 yards between bases, so that's 120 yards. That's like going from the end of the end zone to the end of the end zone on a football field, and with 3 left turns. So it's hard.
Exactly. And I've been a member of the GSL, done high school baseball. I've been umpiring in the local area since 2000, I believe it was 6, with the St. Louis or St. Peter's Athletic Association. That's where I kind of started with the younger kids. So I have an understanding of umpiring. Been into some clinics and things like that. So this is always an important topic to me, and one that I enjoy addressing. If we're going to continue to, I think, address issues in our sport, in our youth sports. And the big one is abuse, is it not?
It is. It is. We have had a couple incidents in the past couple of years that became physical, and we're losing veteran members because they're tired of it, being abused, not only by the fans, but also by the coaches. And we cannot recruit younger members because they just don't want the hassle. So it is a problem. Yes.
And I know you can't. We always talk about these types of things in these situations that say, well, if you want to correct something, go out and correct it yourself. Get it, strap up. But in reality, most people aren't going to do that. If you're going to be an official, you have to have somewhat of a thick skin. That's a given, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
But in reality, let's look at this in context. If you're umpiring for the GSL, right, you could be doing high school to the older gentlemen's league to a tournament baseball league to a collegiate, right?
Correct. We do have JUCOs, yes.
So how many rule books does an official have to go through, right, to make sure that he's proficient in handling all these different levels of baseball, correct?
Correct. Yes. Everybody thinks it's a simple thing of safe, out, ball, strike. That's not necessarily the case. High school, they bend the rules for more participation with the student athletes. When we get into summer, it's a little bit more geared towards Major League Baseball, but then again, they do have their little quirks in the rules to get more participation for those younger athletes. And the men's league, that's a complete different story whatsoever because they have shared lineups and it gets complicated. It really does. And you have to learn the rules. And again, I went to a meeting last night, a coaches meeting for St. Louis Amateur Baseball Association, and they have even bent the rules to their league. And it's all got to do with participation for the athletes. Because
we want people to play, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes. Re-entry rules. That gears, so you got that kid that can't hit, but he can run. They can put him in and take him back out of the game and put the starter back in, and that's how they get participation out of everybody.
So and to folks that don't know St. Louis Amateur Baseball Association, that's SLABA. Okay, if it didn't click right away, I don't mean to be, but just everybody understands that SLABA, and SLABA's still around. You have American Legion still around, and American Legion has different rules than SLABA has.
Yes, right? They do. Yes, they do.
So, going from these places to places, and and Jim, let's talk about this. How much? I don't want to use it, but you do put the onus on the official to learn these things. You have to know them. They have to be proficient, correct?
Absolutely. Once the end of winter is approaching, we have been having on Sunday nights Zoom meetings because of the pandemic. We can't meet as a group. I miss that so much, being the president, to be able to fellowship with my fellow umpires. That's a key part of being in our association is we're our own two-man team out there, and we're outnumbered. But we usually do have Zoom meetings that deal with what's coming up, such as high school baseball and junior college baseball. And we have that probably not this Sunday, but the next we'll be getting into Zoom meetings about what summer rules we're going to adhere to and administer.
So when we're talking in these respects, when what is the likelihood? And I know that we've been dealing with this for, I think, the last 3 years. But membership, what's the likelihood of growing membership? What do you see? What are you foreseeing, and the difficulties that you guys are going to be facing in growing the GSL?
Well, that's one of the first things I did when I became president of the association. I started a membership recruitment committee, and they've worked very hard in it. We've only gotten 13 people from that committee to join. The problem with that is we really only gained maybe 7 members because we've lost half of 13. We've lost 6 people that just say, I'm done. And some of it's got to do with age. You know, they retire. They've been doing it for a long time. And they feel that they can't do the job anymore, or, you know, they move out of town, they move to Florida. and yes, and I can't blame them for that. We do have one gentleman who's 79 years old and is still doing it. And he's been doing it almost as much as I've been alive. And
Yeah.
I love the guy for it. Yeah, yeah. So
What
yes.
what are the things that you're looking for? And if we're talking to these young people, how can some of these younger people, I know they have 15, 16-year-olds, if you're playing ball, if you're looking to get into it, what can you do? What does the GSL talk about? How can they get in the GSL, or do they start at their local associations?
Well, it depends on the age. If they're in high school and they want to join our association, it's very expensive. That's one bad thing about baseball and our softball is it's the most expensive sport to officiate. You got gear to buy, uniforms to buy. It's very expensive. For those kids that are in the high school age level, I always tell them, go to your little league association that's close by and do as many games as you can.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the rules are different in those little league associations, but that gets them whether they really want to do it or not, and it really gets them the feel of they're the boss out on the field. And even in a little league association, they have to be. They're the boss, and so they move up the line doing that. Hopefully, they call back after they're done playing baseball. Hopefully, every one of these high school athletes get to be a college athlete, get a scholarship, go to school, get an education. But once they hang them up, come if you love the game of baseball, come join us. If you move back to St. Louis, come join us. And we need bodies, but we need young bodies.
And is there along with, because I know I've talked with Brett Bogner, who I've known for a while, good umpire, solid umpire. He's part of your committee, and Darcel Fleeman, correct? She
Correct.
and she's been a softball umpire and baseball umpire for a long time.
Long time.
I've worked with both of them. They're great people. How do you are you guys setting up mentoring opportunities with some of the officials and things of that nature?
Well, we do. Usually, when somebody contacts us, the first question I ask is, "How did you find out about us?" And if they said, "Well, a friend of mine is in your association," that is your mentor right there. Lean on that guy. They can always call me, obviously, but if they have questions, it's a personal relationship between two people, and talk to them. You know, maybe if if they just come on their own and join, they would start working with people, and you know, not everybody meshes together. But find that one person that really you enjoy talking baseball with, and lean on them if they're willing to do that. Yeah.
You know, Jim, we're going to finish up today with this, and I want to express this as best I can, if we don't have umpires, we're not playing baseball, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
And what would you say to the folks, the fans, the parents, to kind of, help us get through some of these things? And we're going to talk about some issues moving forward. We're going to have Jim on again, talking about umpiring and these types of things and issues that we're facing. What would you say to folks out there, Jim?
Well, you can't have rabbit ears. You can't deal with the fans. You'll be talking to them more than you'll be officiating the game if that's the case, because no matter on every close call, you're going to have people that think you're the greatest umpire, and you're going to have some that think you're the worst umpire ever. Fans, that's short for fanatics. They want their kids to win. I say don't listen to those fans. You can listen to them, but don't respond. I learned that a long time ago. It gets ugly. It gets ugly. On the high school level, they're supposed to have an administrator on site of the campus. That's who you go to for taking care of fans. You can go to the coaches. If you know that the fan is on one particular side, go to that coach. But he's doing his job. He's coaching his athletes. So usually there's a site administrator, and generally they work with us very well. Transportation to and fro from the field, parking spots. I myself haven't had very many problems over the course of 30 years. Then again, I just, like a duck, water rolls off my back. I don't pay attention to them. It's hard not to, but I try not to.
And I think that's the difficult thing, is we all want to do our best, and umpires are not out there to make one team win or the other. I think that's, that's not the case. I know as an official myself, I don't care who wins. It's not my job.
Right.
Right. As an official, there are rules to the game, and that's all I'm concerned about, right?
I agree. There's many times where if I'm sitting up behind the catcher through a game, they'll ask me, what inning we in? What's the score? I don't know, and I don't know. All I care about is the next pitch. It seems to drag on. If you want to get out of there as quick as possible, you shouldn't be umpiring. That's a fact. It's one of the few sports that does not have a clock, so it could take forever. And that's why they call our men's league the St. Louis Forever League, because it takes forever sometimes. But you just have to do your job, pitch by pitch, out by out, and sooner or later on the high school level, it's a 7-inning game. Our men's leagues are 9. So it eventually comes to an end,
Well, look, guys, folks, Jim, I appreciate you joining us. Look, if you're interested, if this seems interesting to you, I know we need umpires. We're short. There's been a shortage for some time. Go to the GSLAU.com, GSLAU.com. That's the website. You can find out more about the Greater St. Louis Umpire Association. You can give Jim a call. I'm sure he'll be happy to talk to you about what they do, how they do it. They've got the mentor program there. They do training. They put the people in those places. It's there for you. It's there for us. We need the umpires. Jim, again, I appreciate you coming on today.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the invitation.
Folks, everybody have a great day in the Lord, and all you pitchers, keep throwing strikes. You hitters, hit them where they ain't, and we will see you next time.